Alright, so here's a quick video on the Warlord Games Ruined Hamlet. Also the Renedra Limited Ramshackle Barn, which is also sold by Warlord Games. And their resin bits and pieces, the warehouse containers, sort of like crate piles. They're ruined and intact walls, and then they're wooden walls as well. So what this is being used for is going to be for fantasy terrain. Now this would be great for Mordheim, this would be great for Warhammer Fantasy Battle, especially in the end times, lots of ruins. And generally just for any fantasy game where you want to have kind of a post-apocalyptic look to it. Now it's designed for their World War II game. You can see here's some soldiers hanging out behind it. But you could use it for pretty much anything. What I'm going to do with it all, I'm going to walk you through as I do it. I'm going to mount it on MDF just to make it nice and structured. I can do some details in the bases then too. Our intent is to use this with the urban mat, the flagstone sort of. It looks fairly medieval mat from Frontline Gaming, and that's going to give us a nice urban fantasy look. So this is my stuff I'll be using to build. I've also got some of their ruined World War II MDF stuff. So this is Terrace Shop 16 Destroyed Roof. They were sold out of most everything else. So this is another building that I'm going to be building for this build. So it will be more sort of like, you know, standalone-ish with this one. It has its own base. I don't think I need to build a base for it because it should, once I wood glue it all together, be fine. But for this other stuff, the ruins, we're going to base it and give it some more detail just so it pops off the map when we're playing. So yeah, if you're looking for Mordheim terrain, or you're looking for fantasy terrain that's ruined, this is a great buy. You get 3 of these hard plastic buildings in this box. They come in little baggies like this. It's a lot like the plastic from War Machine Minis. Not hard styrene, but it's, you know, once you glue it together, super glue, it should be fine. This one here is hard styrene actually, so this is like GW plastic. Yeah, it's fairly affordably priced. We should be able to fill up a table with it. I have 3 sets of this, one of these, one of the MDF buildings, and then lots and lots of walls and stuff to break up the buildings. So it's not going to be sort of classic Mordheim. There's not going to be a whole bunch of like gantries and stuff in between it, but we can add those later on. We're just trying to get ourselves some table filling ruins going at the moment, and I'll be back with more once I get some stuff built. Alright, first things first, we needed some stuff to mount this on. So what I've done is I've cut some MDF. I've got some 6x4 pieces, some 4x6 pieces, 6x3, no, 6x4, 6x5, and then this one is 6x8. And that's going to let me basically make different size templates with all of this modular stuff. Now I've unpacked one of the ruined hamlets here. And you can see it comes in a bag. And it comes in big sections. If you guys ever built a Lego castle when you were kids, that's basically what you're going to be able to do here. You can kind of mix and match and rearrange these along with the roofing bits to make some different shaped hamlets. So I'm going to have some fairly standard shaped ones. I'm going to have some fairly, you know, like using multiple kits to make different ones. And I'll also mount the barn on one of these, and then I'll try and make one big ruin as well. So I'm going to stretch out these 3 kits, plus the barn, plus the MDF building to try and make a 4-foot table worth of ruins. I'm also going to make rubble piles using spackle. I'm going to texture these with some card just to make them cobbly, and that should allow me to get a nice textured surface on these. You'll notice that I've sanded the edges of all this. I've also roughed up the top. One thing when you're working with MDF is you want to rough it up a little bit so that the glue has some porousness to go into, as well as the spackle will too. I'm not going to use too much spackle because if you use too much it can be prone to cracking and breaking, but I'm just going to use it to kind of blend stuff into the surface once I'm done. Alright, so back in a second after I built one. Alright, it's after about 5 hours now. I've built everything. I built all 9 buildings. So here's 1, 2, and you can see the rest of them all over there. And also the big towery thing that I have, this like ruined house, which I've detailed with a little of the extra leftovers from the plastic ruin kits. And I'm on to the tedious part, which is cutting out, using actually the boxes they came in, lots of flagstones, gluing them down. And then when I'm done that, we're going to actually do some surfacing, some rubble piles and stuff out of spackle. Then I can sand everything, prime it, and get to painting. So off we go to this step. I'm about 6 hours into this project now. Everything's built. You know, you're doing a whole table of scenery at once. It takes a while. But yeah, let's get on to the next bit, which is the cobble. All my buildings built. We've got them rubble piled. You can see them all just sort of sitting here drying. I had to find like whatever spare office surface I could. This is one of our editing computers. It's just covered in ruins now. So they are. I've got, it looks like 3, 6, 9 small buildings. the barn, and then the collapsed storefronts over here. That should be good enough to get us started on a 4x4 table with some ruined buildings. Once again, these buildings are all from Warlord Games, or being sold under license from Warlord Games. They're pretty nice, and they managed to make quite the big selection of scenery. So I'll be back with another video when they are painted.